My name is Shuen Lim. I am originally from Singapore, and me and my family moved to Brisbane, Australia when I was a little kid. Growing up as a youth in Brisbane, I went to church, but there was only like 2 or 3 people my age. It's definitely a lot tougher when you're trying to start your walk with God and start your faith when not everybody around you is on board with that, and you don't have as many older mentors and role models to look up to. My family's been hosting Lipscomb students for the past 6 years. We've been having 2 girls come live with us in June and July when the Lipscomb team comes over for a month-long mission trip.
The role of the host family in the Australia trip for me was a huge part in my experience in Australia. And the Lims especially, they just make you feel like you're a part of their family.
On our Brisbane trip, I feel like we come there to encourage and love on our host families, but in my experience, it ended up being exactly the opposite, and I felt like I got so much more love from them than I could ever return.
Having them just be a part of our family and live with us for a whole month, they became my big sisters that I would just watch how they'd put on makeup and watch how they do their devotions in the morning, and I would really try to imitate that, not just throughout that month, but take that encouragement and wisdom and love that they've poured into me and try to live that out for the rest of the year. I've always wanted to be a part of Lipscomb Missions. Seeing the impact that they've had on my life and the impact that they've had on so many of my friends back in Brisbane, I wanted to have my chance to be able to serve. And so it was last year when Mark and I were riding in the car to a meeting, and I was trying to get the courage to ask Mark whether or not I could maybe go with him on one of his mission trips. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Mark just said that I should come to Nashville and then go to Cozumel on one of Lipscomb's mission trips with him. And no words came to my mouth. I think my jaw dropped for 30 seconds. I truly think it was God just giving me the peace of mind that that's where He wanted me to be. So once I got Cozumel figured out and I knew that I was going, I started thinking, since I'm already going to Nashville and going to Cozumel, I might as well extend that trip and stay a month or so in Nashville around Lipscomb to see my friends that I've made over the past 6 years.
Having Shuen here 5 years after I was with her family, it's been so cool to have her here as a friend and not as a teenager that I'm mentoring anymore. We understand each other on a new level than we did when I lived with her.
When I lived with her, Shuen was an encourager to me. As she has lived with me, she's inspired me with her bravery, just in coming here and all of her plans, and I think the reason behind that bravery is her trust is just totally in God.
Well, I, for one, have had the privilege of just witnessing Shwen's depth of faith and her sincerity in character, and just her deep sense of love and faith in Christ has inspired me, has inspired all the people who have gone to Brisbane the past several years.
She has the ability to, I think, really see into people's hearts.
She was just a constant encouragement and truly made me feel like one of her sisters. She just has such a gift of making people see the good in themselves that they might not be able to see on their own.
As I sit here today at Lipscomb, thinking of how all the different girls and different teams have impacted my life, it's incredibly humbling that the friendships that I've made, from years and years ago, it has continued through till today, and I've been able to be a part of their lives the way that they were a part of mine. I get so excited when I think about all the youth of Brisbane that the Lipscomb students in future years will impact, and especially how they'll impact my 2 little sisters. No words can describe how much I've been blessed by them and how much I have been blessed this trip, coming back and being able to continue on with our friendship.